Welcome, everyone, to this 2K Sports broadcast live from downtown Minneapolis. And here it comes, the NBA on 2K Sports for myself, Kevin Harlan, and my broadcast partners, Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg. Welcome, everyone. You look at the Knicks. Looking at their performance last year, they're about where you'd expect them to be, guys. They'd like to take that next step in a positive direction here, Steve, with a win.
Checking out New York, they've continued to sit in that middle tier of teams that might be able to make the playoffs, but don't have the talent to maybe make a deep run.
Well, it's still early to say exactly where they'll end up, but it does seem like they're still a number of pieces away from real contention.
All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. And New York, looking at who they've got. Stoudemire out there with her. Then there's Iman Shumpert. Then there's Calderon. And it's D'Alembert in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. For the New York Knicks, they come in off the loss to the Bucks in Milwaukee.
I know that's a game they'd like to forget. Sort of a tough day for them all around.
Yeah, I don't see any reason they won't be able to rebound from it pretty quickly, though. I mean, this team throughout the season has shown itself to be pretty resilient. Well, for Ricky Rubio, it seems there's been a little disappointment in his development as a shooter, but still room for hope and optimism. The Timberwolves were much better with him on the floor. His overall impact on the game still undervalued, but clearly impactful.
And it's Carter penetrating. It's stolen by Calderon. And a fast break now for New York. Shumpert with the ball. Stoudemire kicks to Calderon. Makes no mistake on the open jump shot. Calderon's got his first 2 points of the night.
His eyes were wide open there, guys. Excellent vision to see they had an open shot outside and get it there.
That pops. Just around a minute and a half into the first quarter. That's tipped. And Rubio kicks to Wiggins. And he makes no mistake on the slam dunk.
Boy, the kind of moments you love to see. Excellent defense leading to a dunk at the other end.
Clark, you got to marvel at the transition game when they've got it clicking. It's really explosive.
High octane for sure.
Oof. Turning defensive pressure into offensive opportunities. That's what it's all about.
And it's Shumpert penetrating. D'Alembert inside. Rebound by Dang. The Timberwolves have gone 4 of 4 to start. So a nice offensive rhythm to start here. And again, Minnesota with the triple.
Pretty impressive. 5 straight makes to start this game.
The Knicks have gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. And here we go. Rubio heading to the hoop. He feeds it to Carter. Puts up the baby hook. Shot's good.
This is a team that's focused, completely locked into the task at hand. What an impressive start to this game.
And so New York calls timeout. They're first. Well, the Wolves didn't have a hard time scoring against any team. They took it to another level. It seemed always against the East.
Well, every time they played out of conference, it seemed like an up-and-down wild affair, and they were pretty good in those kind of games.
Whole new look on the floor for Minnesota. Now, here's Calderon. His last outing, 16 points for him. No good, unable to end this run.
Well, the effort was there, but he just couldn't quite fight his way through traffic.
And another 3 for Minnesota.
They couldn't have dreamt of a much better start than what they've had here today.
Everything's worked, especially offensively, and what a lead they have already to show for it.
As you said, with the Wolves 3rd in the league when it came to scoring against the East, but they were also near the bottom in points allowed.
The Wolves did fare well against the East, but if they were able to play just a little better at the defensive end of the floor, I think they could have had a pretty strong out-of-conference record.
Jose Calderon signed by the Mavericks to a 4-year contract last season. Along with Monte Ellis, he helped elevate Dallas to become a top 5 team offensively. And that's what's built them this early lead. Deadly shooting from behind the arc.
Yeah, the D better start getting out there on them, Steve, and soon.
Now, here's Calderon. Here's Early. The pass to Shumpert. 6 to shoot. And pushing it up is Minnesota. The Timberwolves again in transition. Nice shot by Terry. And a closer look here at the hustle stance for the Timberwolves.
Boy, their frenetic defense has really been impressive, putting a lot of pressure on ball handlers and turning them over.
Another big aspect of their game tonight has been the fast break, transition opportunity. They're really keeping it up tempo so far.
And Clark Calderon traded this offseason to the New York Knicks. They feel they've made an upgrade at that position.
I would venture to say they did. Raymond Felton struggled last season. Felton is a better defender than Calderon, but offensively, I don't think there's much comparison. Calderon is an excellent passer, and he's one of the best shooters in league history on the catch and off the dribble.
And a whole new group out on the floor right now for the Knicks. And the foul on the closer. That's his first foul. Here's Larkin. Bargnani inside. A strong finish under heavy pressure all over. Bargnani's got his first bucket of the night. 1:02 left in the first quarter of the game. Here's the closer. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. And, oh, here we go. Smith's got it, the fast break chance, and it's good.
There's that transition offense. Push the ball up the floor. The defense can't get set up, and you can get some easy hoops that way.
Well, and the steal made it possible. It all starts with the defense, and they could use a few more sequences like that one.
Those are starting to add up. With their last 5 baskets, 3 of them have been three-pointers.
And it's not just great offense, Clark. The defense is really lacking. Not enough energy on their closeouts.
And so it's New York with it, following the 3 by Minnesota. Hardaway passes to Smith. Just 5 on the clock. And Hardaway gets it to go.
That was some skill there. Nice use of the bounce pass.
Minnesota leading by 14. From deep three-point range, Bargnani grabs the board. Larkin dishes to Smith. Hardaway, that's a 2-pointer. The wing jumper off target.
They would have been lucky to knock that shot down.
Yeah, that kind of shot will definitely get you the high eyebrows from the coach and maybe get...
On tap this Saturday, November 22nd.
Well, not exactly a close game so far, but as the second quarter starts here, plenty of time for a comeback. And a comfortable margin for the Timberwolves here, guys.
How about the shooting so far? It's been a clinic out there. They are lighting it up and really creating open looks for each other.
Well, Steve, there hasn't been much resistance and when they've been on the offensive end, so they've taken advantage of it.
Well, with the shakeups for the Knicks, with the coaching change and even the change in the front office during last season, you'd absolutely expect them to take on a new direction.
Here are the 5 New York has to start here in the second. They've got Smith. Tim Hardaway Jr. out there with Shane Larkin. Then it's Bargnani, and it's Smith in at the 3. Clock is at 3. The fadeaway. Kevin Garnett grabs the miss. They had a little bit of a hiccup to get the overhaul started, but once summer was in full swing, Clark, the Knicks made a lot of changes.
Well, getting Fisher to coach and then implement the triangle was a big one. And they also made some trades to shake up a roster that many felt underachieved last year.
Now let's send it to Doris from the sideline.
Well, Kevin, Derek Fisher went straight from playing to being a head coach. Pretty rare, but to hear his former teammates on the Thunder, he's got what it takes to be successful. Nick Collison called him the only guy I've played with who can address the team as a leader. And Kevin Durant said he's a great motivator who commands respect. Kevin, a pretty good way to start.
Ringing endorsements from 2 great leaders in their own right. Thanks, Doris. Hardaway kicks to Smith. Let's go. And he nails the jumper. Smith's got his first points in this one.
Well, J.R. Smith is a guy who can take your breath away with his talent one moment and then exasperate you the next. Unbelievable talent, but he can be erratic offensively, especially with his shot selection.
And a whole new group out on the floor right now for the Knicks. Levine passes to Garnett. And the rebound goes to the Knicks. They host the 76ers after this game. That game is the first and last of their homestand.
And I'll be anxious to see what ends up happening with that 76ers game. Should be a good one.
And Shumpert kicks to Early. Got a piece of it. And stolen by Wiggins. Here's Levine. He's guarded by Calderon. Feeds to Garnett. Tries it from 9. And almost having to win that time before dropping in. Garnett's got 7 points in the game. And J.R. Smith closing in on 30 years of age. He's been fined almost $1 million over the course of his NBA career.
And, you know, playing in China, he was fined over $1 million in a single season. How do you do that? One night he ordered $3,000 worth of room service on the team dime just to see if they keep coming. Come on. I mean, what is this thinking about here?
We could have eaten some of that food.
Jeremy Lin is a bit of a scoring point guard. He's best with the ball in his hands, but not necessarily an elite scorer playmaker. He's trying to broaden out his game so he can play off the ball as well.
Some for Minnesota. Gorgie Dangs checked in for Wiggins, and it's Williams in for Levine. And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Hi, Kevin. Derek Fisher was just going over the plan with his team. He wants them running a disciplined, organized offense with an emphasis on setting screens and creating open shots on the floor for their shooters. The other thing he stressed was the need to be disciplined on offense. He asked for good ball movement and good shot selection. Guys, they've got a decent hole to dig themselves out of, but still a lot of time left to do it. We'll see if those adjustments help.
And as always, Doris, thank you. About 3 minutes played so far in the second quarter.
And to become better playing off the ball, Jeremy Lin has to improve as a spot-up shooter. He's actually been shooting better off the dribble, but the catch and shoot is something he'll continue to work on.
Early, the pass to Calderon. Kicks to Shumpert. Stoudemire with a screen on Lin. Shumpert. The shot will not go. The Timberwolves go the other way with it. And Jeremy Lin working with the shooting coach, Clark, to develop his outside shot.
Yeah, he's actually tweaked his release to get the ball off more quickly on his way up. He's still below average from long range, but you know he's going to put the work in.
Stoudemire setting the pick for Shumpert. Early kicks to Stoudemire. Passes it to Early. And it's Lin with the rebound.
Very porous defense down there by the hoop. He probably should make that one.
Here's Garnett. And he finishes with the dunk.
It's not enough for the defense to just get into position. They've got to get in the way.
He took what they gave him and cashed in.
Yeah, he paid it off.
Yeah, in a big way. Superb finish.
Calderon dishes to Shumpert. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Iman Shumpert, an aggressive perimeter defender with lockdown potential. Still very foul prone early in his career, but he's got a chance to be elite defensively as he continues to grow.
And Shumpert, fantastic athlete, great quickness and leaping ability.
Yeah, he's rebounded very well from his ACL injury, and he's got a nice handle to go along with good passing ability. A lot of upside remaining in his game.
Well, Knicks ownership guys frustrated last season that Iman Shumpert didn't participate in the Summer League. And, Steve, they were hoping he'd test out for some minutes at the point guard position.
Yeah, that's right, Kevin, and we heard his name arise all season long in trade rumors.
Here's what Minnesota's going with right now. Thaddeus Young, he's checked in for Garnett. Brewer comes in for Vince Carter. And the closer subbed in for Jeremy Lin. Chang, no luck. Knicks trail by 18.
And for Shumpert, his shooting numbers were down last season. He shot over 40% from long range in year 2, but was down to 33% last season. That can happen sometime in the course of a career. Still good from the corners with Shumpert, but perhaps he shot too many from above the arc.
For New York, they've gone 3 of 7 shooting the ball here in the second quarter. And here's Calderon. And it's Smith penetrating. An easy 2 points on the layup.
I'll tell you what, the defenders didn't even get a sniff of him on that move to the hoop.
Now here's Williams. Here's the closer. Good, and it's Williams who picks up the assist. And that's now 6 points for the closer. Here's Smith. Can't get it to go. A dominating first half of basketball, and so far hasn't been close. Timberwolves ahead, leading by 17. And we'll get it going after this from the Target Center. And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but, you know, anything can happen. You look at Kevin Garnett, what a contribution.
Seemed like he made everything he got. I mean, anytime he had an open look, he took advantage of the opportunity there in that first half.
And, Steve, they were all good looks. I mean, his shot selection has been terrific throughout the game.
They've got Wiggins. Garnett out there with Jang. Then there's Carter. And it's Rubio in at the point guard. So that's the lineup for Minnesota. Here's Calderon, and that's going to be a travel.
Let's have a moment here to look at some numbers for Vince Carter. 5th in field goal percentage. And he's one of the elite shooters in the NBA, in the top 5 in three-point field goal percentage.
And you go back to his shooting percentage just for a minute here, Steve. I mean, you think about it. What makes a guy a high percentage shooter? Well, you take the shots that you work on. You don't take bad shots. And you let the game come to you. You don't force shots.
Knicks trail by 20.
New York Knicks were ranked as the NBA's most valuable franchise recently, and with team value skyrocketing, the Knicks came in at around $1.5 billion. That's a B, billion. I think that play sort of sums up what we've seen throughout, just simply being outplayed both sides of the ball. Smart basketball defensively turning into quick points.
And that's not going to be able to continue if they hope to get back into this game, Clark. It's a deflating play for your morale.
And the basket by Rubio. And, of course, for the Knicks, a huge part of their value comes from playing in the Big Apple.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, with the business and media capital of the United States, you know, they go out of their way to attract the big stars to the games. Courtside seats for the top names. That helps give the Knicks an allure, kind of a glamour that a lot of franchises don't have.
The drive by Shumpert. And Jang with the block. They retain possession. Nice shot by D'Alembert.
Boy, beautiful assist. That's a couple of teammates clearly on the same page.
And the Timberwolves call timeout. They want to keep it rolling here following the win against Dallas.
They look very stable, pretty much from the get-go, guys. A solid output, solid effort. And, you know, sometimes you'll see some inconsistencies come up in a road game, but they were pretty solid there.
I was very impressed with the balance they displayed, guys. Different people carrying the load, scoring, making assists, unselfish play. Everything was working for them to get that victory.
Looking at who's out there now for the Timberwolves. O'Neal's checked in for Gorgie Dang. And Levine subbed in for Ricky Rubio. Calderon passes to Shumpert. Six to shoot. Back to Calderon. Outside Shumpert. Puts it up. To the right side. Here's Early. Misses the three.
And the offense continues to struggle. Just one make in their 5 attempts.
That drive by Carter. And it's blocked by Stoudemire. Calderon with it. He kicks it to Stoudemire. Stolen by O'Neal. Here's Wiggins.
Wow, what a throwback. Look at that athletic play. Incredible.
Now, Clark, that is just ridiculous.
Absolutely filthy. I don't remember ever seeing a dunk like that in a game. I certainly can't remember the last time I saw
one.
Oh,
man, that was just amazing. Samuel D'Alembert, a 6'11" shot blocker and rebounder.
Look out, watch out. Boy, the kind of moments you love to see. Excellent defense leading to a dunk at the other end.
Clark, you got to marvel at the transition game when they've got it clicking. It's really explosive.
High octane for sure.
Oof. Yeah, turning defensive pressure into offensive opportunities. That's what it's all about.
Carter against Shumpert. Back to Calderon. Clock at 6. Stolen by Levine. And Doris Burke has something for us. Hey, Doris.
Thank you, Kevin. Andrew Wiggins was the second consecutive Toronto native taken first overall in the NBA draft. He called it a great thing, saying, before this, no player from Canada has been #1. And now we have 2 back-to-back #1s. So it's a huge accomplishment. It just opens so many more doors for all the kids in Canada. Guys, back to you.
It's something else, all right. Thank you, Doris. Here's what Minnesota's going with right now. Thaddeus Young. He's checked in for O'Neal. Jeremy Lin comes in for Vince Carter. And the closer subbed in for Levine. The pump fake kept the D off balance and gave him room. And it's 6 points for Smith. 1:36 left in the third quarter. The feed to Wiggins. From deep. Rebound by Smith. For New York, they've gone 2 of 6 from the field here in the third. Bargnani kicks to Smith. The dish to Larkin. Shot clock at 6. The drive by Smith. It's rebounded by Kevin Garnett. Garnett's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. And it's good. Walk through contact, hits the shot. He'll go to the free throw line.
Exceptional play to take the bump and still get it up and down.
Yeah, way to stay with it and look to finish the play right there.
Minnesota making a switch here. Zhang's checked in. Here's Larkin. J.R. Smith on the wing. Pass to Larkin. Screen by Smith. Larkin kicks to Smith. Unloads from 13. Thaddeus Young grabs the miss. Minnesota's gotten off 12 shots from beyond the arc tonight, hitting 7 of them. Wiggins dishes to Zhang. And pushing it up, here's New York. It's a 4-second differential between the shot clock and game clock.
No, the only tough part of that basket for him was getting into such good position. The rest seemed easy.
Minnesota's gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. Wiggins passes to Dang. That's good. Zhang's got his first basket.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Now, you got to make a defensive adjustment here, Clark. Time to collapse inside, force the ball back out in the perimeter, make them beat you from long range.
That's good. Here's the closer. And he trains the 3, but let's see. They may need to review it. I'm not sure the ball was out of his hand in time. And not so fast. The officials are going to check that shot again and make sure they got it right before we go to the 4th.
And to me, it looks pretty clear on the instant replay, guys. The ball was out of his hands in time. I mean, they need to get this one right. It's a big situation here.
Yeah, I can't see how they'd come to any other conclusion, Clark. The camera gives us a good look at it. There's a tick or 2 left on the clock.
And they're going to count it. They're overturning the original call after looking at the replay.
Yeah, good to see them get that one right. That's exactly why we have this rule in place. And I like it. Each basket is so important in these games that you just got to make sure you get it right at the end of the quarters.
Next Sunday, November 23rd, Stephen Curry and the Golden State Warriors take on Kevin Durant and the Oklahoma City Thunder, live from Oklahoma City. Make sure to catch it.
And a moment now as we take a look at our State Farm assists of the game.
Well, this is what you talk about when you have the offensive play coming together based on tremendous passing. It's the rhythm and flow that occurs that makes this a beautiful game.
And New York looking at who they've got. We've got Larkin. Jason Smith is out there with Quincy Acey. Then there's Travis Outlaw. And it's Prihione in at the 2.
Textbook defending there. He didn't give him an inch of space to get that shot off.
Yeah, great footwork and terrific positioning, Clark.
The Timberwolves shooting 69%, showing you what a well-oiled offense looks like tonight.
I'd say that shot was well within his range.
You think so? I mean, I was pretty good from 2 feet and in myself. That's a gimme there.
He dishes it to Larkin. Pass to Smith. He feeds it to Larkin. Well, since the turn of the century, guys, the Western Conference has ruled the roost, winning interconference matchups in 14 out of the last 15 seasons. So, Steve, last season, the highest ever win percentage for the West at over 72%.
Yeah, and 8 of the league's top 10 teams played in the West record-wise. It may be time to take a fresh look at a top 16 playoff structure. Boy, they've come out of halftime just smoking hot from behind the arc.
Hey, trust me on this one, partner. They are going to continue to let them fly.
Here's Prihione. Terry covering. And the basket by Prihione.
And last season, the 7th and 8th seed in the East made the playoffs with worse records than the 9th and 10th seeded teams in the West. Sure, the conference playoff structure reduces travel, but in the age of chartered flights, you could argue longer traveling distances are much less of a concern, and I would say amen to that.
Larkin kicks to AC. Poked loose, stolen by Levine. The Timberwolves another fast break chance here. Moving it up, and Young slams it home.
And the defense paying instant dividends. Fast break basket.
Yeah, that transition was immediate. Didn't waste a second getting out on the break.
And guys, I think the biggest advantage to a so-called top 16 playoff seeding is that it would possibly make for a more competitive finals. It's a playoff series that garners international attention anyway. You want to make sure that the last two teams standing are truly the best in the NBA.
Yeah, he got whacked. Shouldn't be much debate on that one.
Yeah, that was as straightforward as it gets, guys.
And a moment now to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from here for Minnesota.
Guys, the passing we've seen from them has been tremendous. Very unselfish.
And the other thing they're doing is they're forcing turnovers and then converting those miscues into points at the other end.
And the basket good.
Nice pass. He got the ball right into his teammate's shooting pocket. On time and on target.
For New York, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the fourth quarter. A little over 2.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth quarter. Larkin kicks to Outlaw. Good on the three-point shot.
That is not enough coverage. Got to do better than that defensively. Basically no coverage. I mean, defense did not look very good there.
Here's O'Neal, and he throws it down hard with one hand. None of the defenders wanted anything Clark to do with him on that jam.
And I do not blame him at all, partner. He was coming in with a bunch of steam and was ready to posterize whoever decided to get in his way.
All right, I understand, fellas, but come on. You've got to challenge him a little bit at least.
That one goes. Count.
You know, there's no better sign of how efficiently a team is operating than their assist numbers. And theirs are fantastic.
It's just beautiful basketball to watch, Clark.
There's 1:38 left in the fourth. Here's Larkin. He kicks to AC. Dishes it to Outlaw. New York moving the ball around. 5 on the clock. Smith outside. And they force the shot clock violation. Great team.
Well, jersey advertising, an idea that had been bandied about for a long while. Last season, in lieu of that, the league tested out advertising on the court apron for the first time, as well as a small ad on the top of the backboards. So the league, of course, always looking for new revenue streams.
Kevin Garnett has checked in for Gorgie Dang. And a switch here also for New York. Amon Shumpert's checked in for Shane Larkin.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest, just total obliteration. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for the Timberwolves.
But, Steve, you know, you don't see this kind of a blowout often. But tonight, this is a quality win across the board to deliver out, Clark, this kind of punishment.
Well, you know what? I thought they did a nice job of playing against the game. They kept the pressure on and clearly were dominant in every area.
And an important milestone for them tonight as they pick up win number 10.
And in the season series, they'll end up taking the upper hand with the first victory for this matchup with a 1-0 record against the Knicks.
And Steve, you mentioned the apron advertising. It's only being allowed for locally broadcast games.
And I think that makes sense, Kevin. Viewers probably see it more than they would see stitching on a player's jersey. And I think keeping the ads off the court and the players is a good line to draw.
Now the pass to Outlaw. They get it again. Here's AC. Played in with a nice touch off the glass.
Giving them an opportunity at second chance points with some hard work on the glass there.
Well, for the Timberwolves, they can just run out the clock here. KG, that's good.
A serious game-clinching run. They've taken off here. Impressive.
No backing off. What a surge at the right time.
He dishes to Shumpert. Feeds it to Smith. O'Neal with the defensive effort. The full court grab. And the miss. And so it's the Timberwolves taking care of business here. You know, Clark, every team has a bad night, and these guys might want to watch the tape of this game the next time they have a bad night to remind themselves how dominant they can be.
Well, this is one of those dreamlike games for a coach.
And that about wraps it up for Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke. This is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA presented by 2K Sports. And now, Jordan presents our player of the game, Andrew Wiggins.